Call the regular city council meeting of April 8th, 2024 to order. We have roll call. Scott.
Here.
Beauregard.
Here.
Grant. Here. Kramer. Here. Zins. We stand for the pledge. And pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America. To the very power which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First up, we have the consent agenda. Everyone's had a chance to look at that packet. We'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support. A motion and a support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item 4, approval of the, never mind, that was in there. Guest citizens forums. Anyone like to speak tonight?
Just, can I ask a question?
Sure.
I'm just asking what the latest is on the basketball court that they were going to put up. I've had people ask me, so I thought I'd bring them.
So we are ordering the basketball hoops, the removable hoops for the Midway shelter as part of that project. The basketball court up here, we are still waiting on an estimate from the contractor.
So there hasn't been an estimate?
Not yet.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I know they were contacted last summer, but they never got here to provide a quote, so. I
Is there
asked,
only one?
I asked Kenny to reach out to another company and I don't know if that got lined up yet, or at this point either, but without him here, I'm not sure.
We'll follow up on
Yeah.
that one.
Appreciate it.
Find out, yeah, where that is. Reports from staff, city administrator Lanning.
So St. Louis County is pushing back the County Highway 665 project to 2027. They ran into a little bit of a funding conflict with another project they had, so they can only get so many projects done in 25. Also, we have the local board of appeal and equalization on the 18th of this month. Everyone should have gotten their notices. If they haven't, they are in the mail for their property tax valuation. And so that meeting is if the valuation of your home or property is incorrect. We do not typically take comments regarding individual property tax contribution at that time. That meeting is in the fall as far as how the city budgets and spends their money. This is just about the property tax valuation of your property. If you believe the valuation of your property is incorrect, we request that you submit appeals ahead of time, either in writing or by calling my office. And we will get those to St. Louis County so they can be in touch. They, request to come view your property and enter your home so they can make sure that the valuation is accurate. That's all tonight, thank you.
That's right. EMS Director Olmsted.
Nothing tonight, just agenda items.
Okay. Fire Chief House.
We had 2 fire calls in the month of March, and then, I guess I'm not sure, just a reminder, I know that they're doing a water line in the trailer court, but the road's blocked off back there, just they can notify, I know Kim didn't know. So, just if they can notify, I'm not even sure who's doing it.
Yep, that's private property, so you have a private contractor.
Yeah, but I mean, just for to throw it out there for like that, I understand the trailer court's private, but just if they could let us know, or let him know, Tim will let himself know.
The Easter parade was
Yeah.
interesting when they had to turn everything around.
Yeah, I know I came up and Tim said, he's like, that would have been nice to been notified. So just a reminder,
Okay,
and then I have a agenda item.
all right, thank you.
When the city does water lines, do they notify you guys?
Most of the time, cause they'll let us know like when the hydrants are gonna be down or.
Okay.
And like if a road, if it's gonna be any period of time, they'll usually. Kenny's been pretty good, Jake's been, so.
All right, city attorney Brumfeld, do you have anything for us tonight?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Good, okay. Yeah, just two things, relative to the Flow building. I'm working on the facilities use agreement with the, Snowmobile Club, ATV Club. Hoping to have that proposed, agreement on the next meeting agenda. And then one other thing on that is, since we bought that from a private company, you know, obviously, eventually it'll be exempt from having to pay taxes on it, but received notification that the tax exemption actually will not go into effect until 2025. So the taxes do have to be covered for 2024. So just on the next agenda, what I'd be proposing to the council is I'll have a letter or a resolution that would be approved by the council confirming that since the building is now owned by the city, that in 2024, the city agrees to pay the real estate taxes. And then, of course, the exemption will kick in 2025. So just wanted to give you an update on the Flow building.
You have a number on that by chance?
No, I don't. You mean the amount of taxes?
Yes.
No, I don't have it, no.
All right, thank you, Mitch.
Okay.
Reports from elected officials, Counselor Kramer?
Sorry, the garden club will be starting their regular meetings, which are the second Tuesday of the month, but for this month, it's gonna be the first or the third Monday of the month, the 15th. So if anybody, and they are looking for new members, so if anybody is interested, the 15th at 6 o'clock to meet at the VFW.
I have nothing to report, Counselor Borger,
Nothing tonight.
Counselor Scott.
Nothing to report.
No old business, so moving on to 11.1, new business. We have the White Lakes Wellness Center memorandum regarding the Minnesota State Statute 346B.108.
So, Wade, Kenny, and I met with SEH regarding the wellness center. So there is a standalone statute outside the building code, which is outlined in this memo, and the engineer is on the phone or on Zoom if you have any questions for him. But essentially, we have two options to move forward. We can keep the new mechanical room where it was previously going to go, attached to the arena. However, that would then require that we install a sprinkler system throughout the entire building. And so the estimated cost to that is about $300,000. That is what that mechanical statute has outlined for buildings that have improvements since 2019. The second option is to move the mechanical room to a standalone building approximately 20 to 30 feet away from the arena. And that doesn't necessarily make any changes as far as, you know, no big changes, but we wouldn't have to then install that sprinkler system. And so the recommendation of staff is to approve the option where we move the building so it's 20 to 30 feet away. Additionally, that would mean that the tank that is where the mechanical building was going to go attached to the building would not need to be. And so that cost would be known. So that's the recommendation.
Is there environmental concerns at all with the tank being there or? Well, that's on today, or?
We have Chad Foreman on.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say, anytime you've got an old tank that's underground that was abandoned prior to the current standards we have these days, there's always a concern or a risk, that there is leakage underneath. Unfortunately, the only way to find that out is to take the tank out and do a boring directly below where that tank was at. But from our understanding from some of the records, or talking to staff, is the tank was cut open, drained and filled with sand back in the day, and it has remained in that place ever since. I don't know that there's any more risk today to leave it in place than there was a year ago, because it hasn't been affected, changed, or altered since then.
The original quotes for the wellness center plan, did that include a sprinkler system in there, or is this all?
It did not, because the assumption was we could follow building code, which allows us to separate the new addition from the existing building. And that was the path we were going even through the initial plan review conversations with the state of Minnesota, until they tripped across this legislation of a statute, which in their determination overrides and trumps any building code regulation that is out there. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with that, but in order to request a variation from that or any sort of exemption, unfortunately, it's going to cost us more time than we have available in order to get this project done on schedule. We've had conversations with them about separating the new addition from the existing building, even putting a sprinkler system in the new addition itself, along with the firewall. We've had conversations of just protecting the arena, being that's where our focus of work is at with a fire sprinkler system. But according to their legal, being the statute has the word facility, not building, it says facility, they rule that as the entire facility, whether you are affecting that space or not.
Thank you, Jeff.
You bet.
So yeah, Wade West and Ken Stetzinger have talked about it, they feel this is still a viable option, it's not gonna. Yep, that.
Too difficult for him to go to the waste plant separate from the building?
No, and especially as we work through it, if we make it so we can swing around and plow that area with the truck rather than having to hand shovel it, but even still, it'll all be computer monitored. And so we will take a trip out once a day to make sure everything's running correctly, but other than that, it won't be like our current compressor room where they're in and out of it all night long.
Would it still be possible to come back and get the tank on the ground in the future with the construction plans?
Yes, it would be. And if we know that's going to happen, we would obviously place this new building accordingly so you can get a rig in there. The tank isn't that large, what's underground right now, so it's easily removed with a standard backhoe type equipment.
All right, if there's no other questions about it, I'll need a motion to approve plan option B for the wellness center.
I'll make the motion.
For a second,
I'll second.
motion and a second, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. To 11.2, Ranger ATV and Snowmobile Club invoice for the Minnesota Board of Soil and Water, in amount of 8643. This relates to the Moose 7 Beavers Trail project.
And just a reminder for these next few items with the Ranger ATV Club, we are passed through these, for these monies. So we pay them out when we get reimbursed for the grant.
Is there a motion to pay the 8643?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that. Is there, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. 11.3, Ranger ATV Club in West Mississippi and Superior Wetland Mitigation Bank, in amount of 5741.80 for the 7 Beavers Trail again. Is there a motion to pay that bill?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll support that.
Motion and support, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. 11.4 SEH invoice for this HCV Stoneville Club in the amount of $3,088.32 for the same Seven Beavers Trail. Is there a motion to pay that invoice? I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Motion and support, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. And the last Ranger Stoneville Club invoice to SCH in the amount of $260.50 for the same Seven Beavers Trail. Is there a motion to pay that invoice? I'll second that. Go ahead. Deb? The motion and support, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. On to 11.6, this is the annual proclamation that we approved. It is the mayor's proclamation regarding Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And if there's a motion to approve that.
Oh, that motion?
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and support, all those in favor? Aye. None opposed? That motion is carried. 11.7 is a letter of support regarding the East Range Joint Powers Board application to the Department of Engineering Resources for a development partnership grant. Becky, do you have any comments on this one?
No, this is part of the grant work that the East Range Joint Powers Board does for the city. And so this will just ensure that those services continue to be available for the Woodlands residents.
Is there a motion to approve the letter of support?
I'll make that motion.
A second?
I'll support.
Motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 11.8 is the letter regarding County State Aid Highway 100 corridor study from St. Louis County.
And so this is a letter that I put together, regarding the comment period for the Highway 100 project that they're planning to do through the city of Aurora. I know that in the past, the city has had several businesses interested in building or occupying Laskin Energy Park and have unfortunately backed out because there's not a feasible way to get through the city of Aurora with truck traffic, they have felt. At some point, they've asked to have another railroad crossing at lane 55, and so that then it's just corners. They feel that semi-traffic has felt that it's pretty tight turning, both at the Holiday Corner and on North Main and Third Avenue in Aurora. In addition, it would take 18 minutes for our emergency services. If there was something that happened on the tracks, it would be an 18-mile detour to get back to the north side of Aurora. So that leaves us in a pretty precarious spot as far as any emergency services.
And there was a general comment website for the.
Yes, there's also a St. Louis County website regarding the entire project that anyone who's interested can go and take a survey regarding the project. They're interested in hearing from anyone who lives in the community or anyone who travels through the community regularly, which would be everyone who is in White Lakes, because unless you're coming from Silver Bay, that's where you're going, so.
I personally took that survey and echoed some of the same concerns in this. Trying to get another route through just to help support some businesses looking to come in. Anybody in town is interested in that as well. I would encourage them to go and take that same survey.
Great. Is there a motion to accept the proposed letter to St. Louis County?
Remove that motion.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and support, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion is carried. 11.9 is the City of White Lakes hiring policy.
So Chief House has requested the hiring policy be updated.
Yeah, more or less just, I've had trying to line up Aurora's chief and Halo's chief. So I was requesting that their assistant chiefs could fill in, and then if, we only have one applicant for that spot, I don't, Becky, how would you say the other departments do it? If it was, as long as they're qualified?
Well, yeah, we haven't had one applicant in other departments, but traditionally, if they're qualified for the position and you're comfortable with them, we could just go ahead.
Yeah, so,
So you waive the interview requirement.
yeah,
If that was the case, if the council felt that they need to go again for.
Yeah,
bids,
that's not, that would be within the council's right, correct?
So the changes that are highlighted are just to include assistant chiefs,
yeah,
to fill in for regular chiefs, and then the
Yeah,
interviews don't have to be conducted for one qualified.
yeah, if there's one applicant. And they're qualified.
Any other comments or questions about an update to the policy?
There's, was one of the concerns written about in here about breaking ties. I'm not too concerned with that. I think if there is a tie, that when they're brought to the council will make that decision on which is the best candidate.
Yeah, I think that was just stated in there that if there's only one, there will be a.
I know we originally were talking about this. I know towards the end of the conversations, we stopped saying chief or assistant chief, but it was obviously part of the initial conversation that the assistant chiefs would be included in that as well.
Yeah, I just found, like, especially with the secretary and captain spot, we're going on 3 weeks now, and I've been trying to line up, and 1 week will work for one of them, and it doesn't work for the other, it's just,
And that was a concern when adding more people to the interview.
yeah, and then like, we only have the one applicant for each spot, so.
Any other questions or comments? I would need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Scott, is there a second?
Of course.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
None opposed? All right, motion is carried. 11.10, resolution to apply for the Minnesota Power Foundation grant.
Yeah, so Minnesota Power has a grant every year, we're just requesting to apply to help purchase a gas monitor and a base station, which the base station just more or less calibrates it, recharges it. And then, thermal imaging camera. So it's just asking if we can apply for the grant.
Is it a matching grant program or just a straight up grant?
No, this one's just a straight.
Okay.
So the city acts as the.
No, the fire department's a department of our city, of the city, and so we just apply for the grant, if we get it, we just buy the equipment and use the grant.
All right, is there a motion to accept the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Kramer, is there a second?
I'll support.
Support, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 11.11, EMS request regarding the 2025 Horton Emergency Vehicle remount. Is that you now?
That's me.
All right.
Yeah, so we are gonna be needing the ambulance, if you look on here, delivery of the vehicle would be approximately 750 days. That's not delivery, that's pickup of our vehicle to bring it there, and then about 3 months after that, we'd receive it. So the sooner we get on the list, the better, yeah, 750 days. Our oldest ambulance is 10 years old this year, it's 2014, and it's got 177,000 miles. Next one's a 2016 with 107,000 miles, so we're looking at new rates in the next few years here. And this is a remount, so they would take our oldest ambulance, take the box off, go through the box, make it pretty much brand new, and put it on a newer chassis. It's going on a Ford van style. We did get a truck body last time and nobody likes it. I mean, it's good for 911s. We'll keep that 911s. It's nice to have the 4-wheel drive in our rural areas. But this one will be a van style with, a gas motor. The only way you can get a van style ambulance is if you switch to gas. And talking with the guy that we usually get our rates from, 95% of the rates they sell are gas. And there's been no complaints on them. So talking with Kenny and Zach, this is the way we decided to go for a new one. Remounting is saving about $100,000 versus buying a brand new one.
All right, is there any other questions about the new ambulance? Is this something like wasn't the budgeted amount for this year? This is a,
No, but with the 2-year waiting list,
Yeah.
we might as well get it.
And we can definitely word the motion where it's, you're just getting on the application list, and then Mel will let us know when they're getting close, and we have to figure out budgets. So,
The nice thing with PSB too is when they come and get our, we can bring us the loan rate that we can use in the meantime for now. So it's another nice option.
So we can back out later if we decide to purchase a regular ambulance with the whole thing later, or is it
I
once
was
we're on
gonna
the
say,
list?
you're
we're
probably
stuck
gonna
in it?
need to do both.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, once we're on the list, we're stuck on it, we have to go through with it, or? is it
We
possible
could
to-
probably get us, behind us on the list. Yeah, this is just to get on the list.
Would this be similar to the rescue rig then, that nobody seems to like over there?
No, it'll be like exactly like, no, there's two bad style ambulance, but you don't have.
Yeah. No, that new ambulance, it's just a lot rougher, I think.
It's bigger.
It's bigger,
But the fire rescue truck, that's,
Oh, God,
Yeah.
that's completely different.
that's way bigger than what this.
This is just like the other, the white ambulance or the black ambulance.
Okay.
Exactly like it was.
do we need a motion to get on the list then? Is there a motion to put this new ambulance on the list to get in a couple of years?
I'll make that motion.
Should I Kramer, is there a second?
I'll support.
Motion and a second, all those in favor?
Alright,
Opposed? Motion carried.
adjacent question, how long is the waiting list for a new ambulance?
For what?
A new ambulance, to just go purchase one?
I didn't even ask. A little too rich for my life.
Just wonder if they're faster or not than.
Probably not.
Long time, I never would have guessed it takes that long.
No, when I asked for the quote a while back, and when I got it, I was like, oh, is that a typo? I called it, I'm like, are you writing that, please?
All right, 11.2, recommendation to hire casual part-time EMT.
Yes, we held an interview last week, the week before, for Sherry L. And, interview went well, and she passed her physical agility test, so we're opting to hire her, pending her background check and drug test. She's already an EMT, so there was no cost to me doing her.
So I was just gonna ask, is she currently an EMT or is it a
She
new
is
hire?
currently an EMT.
All right, is there a motion to approve hiring the casual part-time EMT?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Counselor Kramer. I'll support that motion. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carried. 11.13, resolution 2024-4, accepting a donation from the White Lakes Chamber of Commerce.
Well, the White Lakes Chamber of Commerce has very generously donated. We have quite a bit of improvements going on over at the Midway, area. As you can see, the building is up. We have some ARPA funding, about $104,000 that the council previously committed to the area, for a disc golf course, resurfacing the tennis courts and making it into a pickleball skate park tennis court combo, the basketball hoops, new picnic tables for the new Midway shelter, those kinds of things. So the Chamber of Commerce wanted to donate towards that, and they are doing that. We've also received word that the Water Carnival Committee is donating about $10,000 to put a decorative bar in there. Kenny is meeting with the Mason later this week for both the decorative bar and the pylons and the decorative planters that are gonna go in the area. Additionally, I had a meeting with Simon from New Range Copper Nickel this morning, and they're very excited about donating to this project as well. And so those things will all kind of come in front of you. I wanted to be sure that you had a list of the things we're thinking about for the area. Knowing that I do not have solid costs for a lot of those items for you. But it was approved, the original budget was approved at $31,000 over, and so we will stay underneath that amount as we add things in, and you'll obviously get the information in front of you before anything's agreed upon, so.
Thank you.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the resolution accepting the $26,000? Motion by Scott, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Borchard, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. And the last one, 11.14, summer seasonal employee hiring. Every year, we hire some summer student workers to help us throughout the city. There's positions maintaining ball fields with recreation, maintaining greens out at the golf course, working with the utility plants, and Jake and his crew out at utilities, and then obviously the many, many acres our kids mow throughout the summer. We also have rainy day projects that they can do, and so it keeps them busy and keeps Kenny running all summer long. All right, is there a motion to hire our summer crew?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Counselor Grant, Counselor Grant. Is there a second?
I'll support.
Support by Counselor Borchard. All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed, motion is carried. That leads us to number 12, adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Kramer. Is there a second? I'll make that motion. All those in favor?